Hello and welcome into another pair of Bruins fan reactions here. And because of my school schedule, finals are coming up, projects are becoming due. I do not have as much time as I did early in the season where I could give each game its own individual review. So because of that, I'm not going to leave any game uncovered here. So I am going to give you the Leafs game and the Maple Leafs game. The Leafs game and the Montreal Canadiens games. I know, it's all about the Leafs. But that game means a little more because they're a better team than the Canadiens. I don't mean to disrespect you, Montreal. It just is what it is. And the Bruins split them. They get a win and they get a loss. So let's talk about the Canadiens game down here first because that was the game that happened first and we should go in chronological order. So the Bruins would end the first period against the Canadiens with a 2-0 lead, and that was a great start to the game, and the Bruins looked like they were ready to take over at that point. Now, the goals came on David Backes, who created a turnover, took it to the house, and sniped low glove on Carey Price. Jake DeBrusk would put the Bruins up 2-0 late in the first with a great pass play between him and Torrey Krug, where DeBrusk drives the net, Torrey Krug hits him up with the pass, and Jake DeBrusk is clinical from like 3 feet and in. He is clinical, he has good tipping skills, he has good finishing skill, and the finishing skill is on point here, and he puts it past Price. Bruins go into the intermission 2-0. Now, the Canadiens were playing good hockey, and they definitely deserved a goal before this, but one man was standing between them and a goal, and that was Tuukka Rask. Well, you see the smiley face down there. He was fantastic. In this game, it felt like the Canadiens should have had a goal way before the third period, but one man was standing in between them and a goal, and that man's name was Tuukka Rask. Tuukka Rask has been outstanding ever since he took his weekend off hiatus for whatever reason we still do not know, but he took the weekend off and he's come back and he has been in the form of a brick wall. Halak has also been solid, so now you really have two good goaltenders who you can send out there any night and you're probably going to get a good performance out of them. Tuukka is your horse though, so I really think Tuukka, it needs to be your starter. I really see no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I think Tuukka, I'm gonna ride with Tuukka here. I'm gonna put my support in for Tuukka here. He should be the starter. He should get slightly more starts than Halak at the moment. He's playing better than Halak at the moment, and he deserves it. He's your number one. You're paying him like your number one. Should be your number one. Enough about that, though. Eventually, the Canadiens would come back, and they would strike back-to-back lightning quick. The first goal by the Canadiens was scored by Jonathan Drouin, and if you watch Jonathan Drouin in the limited amount of times that I have, the 2 games we played against him, he has looked very dynamic and less of a bust that we thought he might have been earlier on in his career. He is a very good passer, very good skater, and he has sick hands. And they were on display tonight, and he made Torrey Krug look like a child on this goal, went around him, put the puck into Tuukka. Tuukka didn't contain it. It fell behind Tuukka. Tuukka moved his leg and kicked it in his own net, I believe. I think that's what happened, unless the guy in front, which I believe was still Drouin, forced it in. Either way, great move by Drouin. Tuukka let in the goal. It happens, especially with a skill player like Drouin coming at you, and the Canadiens were 1 back now. The Bruins would then get scored on again a few minutes later when Andrew Shaw collects a puck behind the Bruins net, throws a blind pass out front to Thomas Tatar, and Thomas Tatar roosts it on Tuukka Rask. Not much chance for Rask. This was a pure one-time snipe by Tatar, and the Canadiens tied it up 2-2, and the momentum felt like the Canadiens were about to win this game. It really did. But then, when the odds look like they're against the Bruins to pull this one out, Jonathan Drouin hurts his team badly. Drouin slashes David Backes in the face, and this draws a 4-minute penalty, and it is just a stupid play to make by Drouin here. And he costs his team, puts his team on the penalty kill for 4 straight minutes here, and eventually the Bruins strike. Bruins fans do not always like seeing David Backes on the power play, but this play makes us like him a lot more. He gets the puck in front of the net and does a backhand on net. It banks off of Carey Price's leg pad, pops out to the left where the first guy to get there is John Moore, and he one-times it and puts it past Carey Price, and the Bruins go up 3-2 to take the lead, and they would hold on and win and beat the Montreal Canadiens. This is a good win. Because of how the momentum was going against the Bruins in this one, it did not feel like we were going to win, but we stuck in there. We're very opportunistic on the power play that we were given by Jonathan Drouin. We score and we hold down the fort, and we come out of this game with 2 points, and that's all you can ask for in this one. With how injured we are, you need the younger guys to step up, and defensively they did towards the end. They had a little hiccup there for about 5 minutes against the Canadiens. They took advantage on the power play, and they did just enough to get the win, and you take it. So now we move on to the Toronto-Boston game, which is obviously the bigger game of the two. Playoff matchup, playoff rematch. We faced them earlier this year. We beat Toronto. So now we go to the ACC, or now known as the Scotia Bank Center. I hope that's right. But nonetheless, we go to Canada, we go to Toronto, and we take on the Leafs. And you got Halak and Frederik Andersen tonight, and no Austin Matthews, no Bergeron. A lot of Bruins defensemen are injured. No Nylander, still don't know where he is. And, a lot of pieces are missing from what you'll probably see if we ever come into contact with them in the playoffs. But nonetheless, we have a game to discuss. The Leafs come out as the better team early on in this game. I would give them the edge in the first period. I thought their quality of chances were better in the period, and in the end, they were rewarded with the Travis Dermott goal. I felt like the Leafs deserved to be up 1-0 after the first period. The second period, however, the Bruins would strike twice, but the Leafs would also strike twice, and the thing about this is that the Bruins outplayed the Leafs by a ton in this period, but the Leafs still got the goals to match us, so we did not come out with the lead. We were still down by 1 in a period. We outplayed the Leafs by a lot, and in hockey, it happens. That's going to happen. The better team doesn't always come out on top, and at the end of the second, the Bruins were the better team. They didn't come out tied. They didn't come out on top. They came out down by 1. So things weren't looking good here. And the goals came by Pastrnak on the power play. Pastrnak not on the power play. I don't know if you watched David Pastrnak play this year. He's got a decent shot, and he shoots at will. So Pasternak's first goal was a one-timer on the power play with a nice cross-crease setup by Brad Marchand. Looks like Freddie almost gets over to it, but Pastrnak just fits in between him for Pasternak's 18th on the year. Sadly, however, the Leafs would strike back to take the lead again with something named Ozhiganov putting the puck in the net. I have not seen much of this guy, but I'm not a fan of him. I'm really not. He puts the puck in against my team. Not a fan. And I'm also starting to hate, but respectively hate, Mitch Marner. The kid's got skill. The kid's fantastic. Does an insane toe drag around Matt Grizzly. Keeps it, goes around the net, goes back around the net, throws it out in front of this. Ozhiganov dude comes out and one-times it kind of softly and it beats Halak. Don't know if it was through traffic or not, but Halak doesn't see it and it goes in. That was Ozhiganov's first career goal also. David Pasternak's second goal of the game comes in the second period as well. It's on an offensive faceoff, one back to Torrey Krug. Torrey Krug shoots it low, and David Pastrnak picks off the shot and goes to the other side of Freddie and puts it in a basically empty cage because the momentum of Freddie has him going one way, and David Pastrnak picks it up and goes the other way and puts it by him for his tied for league leading goal, 19th of the year, tied with only Patrick Laine, who had to put up 5 the other night to get to the level that Pastrnak was at. Patrick Laine has been insane, but nonetheless, Pastrnak has been insane more consistently, and they're both tied at 19 because they're both fantastic European hockey players. So the game is tied 2-2 after the Pastrnak goal when Anders Bjork decides to take a tripping penalty. Pretty sloppy, pretty clear, gets a stick in, and so Leafs to the power play. And on the power play, the Bruins seem to be handling things fairly well until Josh Levo gets a puck in front of the net and puts it past Yaroslav Halak, and the Leafs go up 3-2. Period comes to an end. The Bruins, at one point this period, were out shooting the Leafs 10-0. They were really dominating, but the Bruins let up a few chances, too many, give them a critical power play, and the Leafs scored on that. They scored on a Mitch Marner setup to Ozhiganov, and it was really a wasted opportunity this period to take the lead, to even tie up the game heading into the third. Could not do it though, and we go to the third down by 1. So in the third period, I think the Bruins were a slightly better team. However, Frederik Andersen was by far the better goalie in this game, and Frederik Andersen is a very good goaltender when he's on. I think he's one of the better statistical goalies in the NHL right now. He held the fort down. Zach Hyman gets empty netter late in the game, and the Leafs would win this one 4-2. I live streamed this game. I really wanted the Bruins to win. It's always fun to beat Toronto. But big picture, coming away with one of these 2 wins is not that bad. Losing to Toronto on their home ice is not a bad result early in the season. In November, both teams missing their franchise centers. The Bruins missing a decent amount of defensemen. William Nylander being gone. Neither team is at full health, full capabilities. So it's really hard to judge big picture what this game means for the series that might take place in April or May. The one positive I will take out of this game is effort. Effort was there tonight. This type of effort will win you hockey games. We did not put enough goals, but that's because of skill, not effort. I'd like to give Connor Clifton a shout out. Connor Clifton has been quietly solid in all of these games he's played in so far, except for the one turnover he had a few games ago. I believe that was the game against Phoenix. And Connor Clifton's just a really good skater, and he's been a solid defenseman so far, and I really like him, and I really hope there is a way he can stay up with the team. I know when we're fully healthy, that is not likely, and he will be in the AHL, but I like what I see from Connor Clifton nonetheless. All right, let's talk about Mitch Marner now, because this guy was dynamic, and the 2 goals that he set up were the first 2 goals for the Leafs, and they were really big goals because of momentum. The first goal is always key in every game. He sets it up. The second goal was right after the Bruins scored and took away momentum from the Bruins, where they definitely could have gained it in a period where they were playing better. The power play goal is different because you get chances on the power play. He created that goal all by himself, the second goal, the Igor Ozhiganov goal. And without that goal, I think the Bruins would have won this game. If Mitch Marner doesn't make that play, create that chance, I think we're talking about a Bruins win. But because of the skill that Mitch Marner brings to the table, the Leafs were able to get that goal, take away momentum, and at the end of the day, they won this hockey game. The other thing I have up there was goaltending. Obviously, if you watch the game, Frederik Andersen had a much better showing than Yaroslav Halak. It wasn't even close. So the Bruins are still occupying the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. I think it's going to stay that way for a while because I think the Bruins are going to be consistently decent until they become fully healthy. And with the way Buffalo has been playing, the skill that Toronto has on offense, and Tampa Bay's death machine they're running down there, it's very unlikely we catch one of those teams anytime soon with the injuries. So until we get healthy, I think we're locked into that. Hopefully we don't fall out of it because that's a dangerous thing that can happen. And especially with all the injuries. I can't stress how much these injuries could have an impact on us. They have not yet, which I'm thankful for. Just had Thanksgiving, very thankful for that. But you never know when the Bruins could go on a slump with all these young guys. You just never know. But the leadership in the locker room is superb, and hopefully it does not happen. As for now, though, the Bruins seem to be getting back McAvoy and Carlo sooner than they will be getting back Bergeron and Chara, which is good because all of their timetables are less than a month, which means it won't be too much longer. We can survive waiting for them a little bit longer. We have the depth on defense. We have JFK, who's stepped up and played great so far. And I really am not too worried unless the injuries with Carlo and McAvoy, which I assume are concussions, linger on longer. So that's all I have for you in this video. I hope you enjoyed my pair of Bruins fan reactions videos. Hit the like button down below. It's that thumbs up button. Turn on notifications and hit the subscribe button. Support the channel and leave a comment. I respond to all of them. Toronto, rubbing in my face. Montreal, tell me how you're going to get us next time. Bruins fans, talk the crap down below. That's all I have for you now. Thank you for watching. Peace.